Okay, I really loaded up the game and it showed me this. This game looks great. I can't tell if we're deceptively getting farther away. Yeah, we're getting farther away. Okay, it's R2.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna start at the beginning, with the house.
I like this game already. Okay, first, look at this game. It looks amazing. It's only $20. I got it for free because of
I
PS
lived
Plus.
here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
That's freaking amazing.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Buy the whole house.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Okay, I want to go this way, see what there is. Yeah, if you don't know, I'm that person that's like, objective that way. What's over here?
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Ah, I think it's two different ways that lead to the same place.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
This guy looks like the truck from Life is Strange, but that's a common type of
The
truck,
house
though.
was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Can I ask why?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Kinda does. I do not know if this is a horror game. It did not say the genre. All I know is that it's like a story game. So I assume it's like an adventure game. I hear chimes.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I thought I have to break into in my own house.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Me, my grandma, my mom, my brother. How much older was my brother? Currently 17. How long was he alive for? $22. Assuming this was this year, so he is 5 years older than me. Dispatcher pantry, cook of mushrooms, Northwest Chef. I kind of want to read the Northwest Chef. Can I read the book? Is it about food? And go over the plates.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
That would be too bad.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
I kind of don't want to know what that looks like. Spirit among us.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
So there's a whirlwind that went through.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
A love question, I take it? Isn't that like some sort of Egyptian beetle right there? Father must have traveled.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
It sank. Like, was it flooded? This is a nice house.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Did you guys leave in a hurry?
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Any stale food that the mouse haven't eaten? I see. And I feel a little uncomfortable just being here.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I haven't seen the movie.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
I feel like something happened to Milton here.
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Saving. Okay, this is not a horror. This is definitely an adventure game.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Can I get around, please? Okay.
My Halloween candy was all gone. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night.
I doubt that's healthy and edible.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
This is awesome. I'm an owl.
Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Snake maybe?
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Okay, inverted controls.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. I was big, but I moved real quiet. Passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. all of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
So this is an adventure game.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
So basically the aim of the game is that I'm trying to find out what happened to my family.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
She liked her
Edie
birds.
knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Yeah, so based on what I saw, I'm
Almost like a
approximately
museum.
5 years older.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Can I change it?
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
So he took his whole house with him.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay then.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
I'm seeing a lot of these join the great majority.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ah.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
I like this carpet.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Okay, that's styrofoamed off, which means that there's some way to get in there somewhere else.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
I bet. Okay, there's something else.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Mikey goes to every secret book.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Well, Milton's been here. So this is Calvin's room. For Calvin. Yep, this is not for Calvin. This is Fort Sam. Twins, maybe?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Wait.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Oh no, he's gonna jump.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
He died because of an
I think he'd
accident.
already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Yes, it's very good if you like a story and like adventure type game.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
It's a game about how you're trying to find out, like, basically your family history.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Can't exit.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
This house is very stable.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
You're just in there. Is there something else I can do in there? Yeah.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I'm gonna pause it here.